Welcome back to the West Coast. I haven't covered a race out here since Thermal Club in 2023. Man, it's been a while, but thanks to all of you who have subscribed and liked videos on this channel and commented. I mean, it's gotten me here to WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca for what is this, the fifth race in 4 weekends for the IndyCars. Just really neat to be back here in California. Already met so many of you, said hi. It's great to be back out here. Looking forward to hopefully getting back to Long Beach next year. So this is one of the formative tracks in my experience as an IndyCar fan, and really kind of growing to love this sport. And I was 2.5, 3 years old, just kind of beginning to form memories when one of the most exciting moments in IndyCar racing ever happened. The pass at the Corkscrew here at Laguna Seca, 30 years, almost 29 years ago, it'll be 30 next year, of the pass here at Laguna Seca, in which Alex Zanardi at the Corkscrew on the last lap absolutely sent it on Colton Herta. Went 4 wheels off the track, but managed to win the season finale here at Laguna Seca. Just one of the greatest moments of all time. And as a kid growing up, that's just something you thought of as just, that's really cool. I'd like to be a part of that someday. Unfortunately, the internet exists. It existed in 1996, but certainly Twitter didn't. And now that Twitter exists, everybody's got an opinion. And when our pals at Chip Ganassi Racing and IndyCar posted the clip of the pass yesterday, there were a lot of terrible opinions of people saying that Alex Zanardi should not have won that race in 1996, and I want to lead off with this. Screw off. Screw you. I don't care. You're going to slander Alex Zanardi on this of all weekends. I just cannot let that stand. Track limits, yes, they didn't exist. Well, they kind of existed in 1996, but they didn't really. You know why they didn't exist in 1996? Because drivers who made crazy moves like that more often than not got seriously injured or died. The fact that Alex Zanardi did what he did, cheated death, and that's what made things cool. That's what made this sport cool, exciting, and that pass was death-defying at the time. Now, these days with the safety of the cars, maybe it isn't as much. But don't just take my word for it. At the media bullpen today, I asked many of the IndyCar drivers what they think of Alex Zanardi's pass. Was it legal? Should it have been legal? I did get some various answers, but most of them agreed with me.
I think that he didn't get a penalty for it, and therefore it does not matter what anyone on the internet thinks.
Well, he won the race, right? So I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Would it be allowed today? No. I think that's always been a little bit of controversy over that, but no, it's one of the greatest passes of all time. It's pretty epic and kind of wild. If you spoke to Zanardi about that, and when he explained it, he said he visualized it for laps, and that I'm not sure I'd take that for real. I think it was by chance moments, and when you're coming out the other side, you're never really sure where it's going to land. But I feel bad for Herta, man.
I think it's a pass. Why not?
They say you went off the track limits.
Yes, but I would not say that it was enforced then, right? And it was a pass, so it was a pass for the win. I respect whatever somebody says, but for me that's
nice about it.
Okay. So guys, it's a pass. Come on, he was, it's on the limit. It's a bit dirty, but hey, it's for the win. I think that's allowed. He didn't maintain 4 wheels on the track, but who cares? Come on. It's one of the best passes you've ever seen.
I mean, it did cross my mind that that probably wouldn't work nowadays because, everyone would be like, he went off track, blah, blah, blah. And I think it was sick. I even think that in driver's briefing it was mentioned this morning. Maybe it was mentioned. I needed to check. That you can't go 4 wheels off. The pass is if you pass someone 4 wheels off, it's whatever. But that was an overtake that was I don't know how many years ago. 30 years ago. We're still talking about it now. Every year it's the same stuff. I've seen that move more times than I've seen anything else. I'm thinking maybe we should just revert to the old rules and just be do what you want.
I don't know what the rules were back then.
There were no rules.
Well, there you go. Then it's legit.
think that's how you gotta state it. Yeah,
There you go.
You know,
Okay.
It's not a legit pass.
Oh no! Yeah, he says that because Brian Herta is on his pit stand.
No, I wouldn't care if I didn't know Brian. The guy blew the corner, went off over the runoff, and then came back on. And it's like, in current days, that would be you get a penalty for it. So maybe back then, yeah, it's a legit pass. Like that was legal. It was a legit pass back then. But nowadays, it's not.
Oh my God, that's going to be unpopular on the. Well, maybe it will be.
I don't care.
And we did have a practice session today, just one session as is per usual on the road courses on Friday. Pato Award, the winner in Toronto as well as in Iowa, took the P1 position today. Colton Herta, who is very good. As we know, the Herta family loves this track, even when sometimes you get an Alex Zanardi ruining the party. He was P2. Marcus Armstrong was P3. So 1 Chevy and 2 Hondas in the top 3. Alex Palou in 4th position, just behind him. Callum Ilott, who's really beginning to come into his own for Prema in 5th. And Christian Rasmussen, one of the drivers for Ed Carpenter Racing, on a very important weekend for them this weekend, as it is the Java House Grand Prix. And of course, Java House, a major sponsor on that team. So we had a couple of cars get into the wall today. A lot of cars actually going off the track, a lot more than I can remember in an initial practice session. Devlin DeFrancesco got off down here and actually got into the wall. Alexander Rossi as well went way off the track, smacked the tire wall, knocked his car out for the practice session. So a couple of crashes. Joseph Newgarden spun off of the track. Jacob Abel spun off. A couple other drivers had off-course excursions. But yeah, a couple of crashes right off the bat. Kind of weird for a first practice session. I mentioned it. This is a brutal stretch of races for the team. So like 5 races in 4 weeks. This July is just absolutely crazy, and it was very difficult for the Juncos Hollinger team. On the way back from Iowa, the trailer containing their 3 race cars burned. It caught fire. And I got to speak to Stingray Robb, whose trailer it was, about that particular issue, and it actually is amazing it wasn't worse.
I think that they were feeling lucky to make it to Toronto, to be honest. I mean, the way that they were able to turn everything around, I mean, the trailer that burned down had all 3 cars in it. It had my car, Connor's car, and the spare tub. So they kind of had to start from ground zero the Monday after Iowa, rebuilding the car, obviously, after the crash on Sunday, and then obviously all the smoke damage from everything. We got really lucky because the trailer caught on fire on the right side. Well, on the underbelly on the left side, there was jerry cans full of fuel and oil that didn't catch on fire. And the fire department, first responders, they showed up in a matter of seconds, it seemed like. So they were able to get the fire out so it didn't spread to those jerry cans 5 feet across the other side of the trailer. So really lucky. And I think that by the time the team got to Toronto, they were completely exhausted. They didn't want to see a racetrack for a while. But luckily this week they had a little bit of rest. Coming into this place, I think California is a place that we all love and enjoy because the weather's beautiful. It's not as hot and humid as what we're used to. And it's just a beautiful racetrack. I think that everyone gives a good shot at this place because it just is an amazing place to be.
And following up on a story from Toronto, of course, Santino Fucci had to sit out the race after crashing in the morning warm-up. The team had to go to a backup car. Santino was injured. Got to ask Santino about that and how difficult it was to miss Toronto. How you feeling? That's the first question.
I'll be good. I'll be okay.
Okay.
So I got some stuff for it. Still a little swollen, but it's not bad. So it's getting there. It's getting there for sure.
How tough was it to miss the race in Toronto?
Yeah, I mean, bottom line, it sucks. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts, no way around it. So we stayed, hung out with the guys, bought them a couple rounds of beer. Just moving it forward, getting everybody mentally reset for this weekend, putting that behind us. I think we're in great shape. So I'm looking forward to it.
So I can't believe it, but we're actually kind of still talking about the championship with Pato Award still racking up results and Alex Palou having a middling result at Toronto. There's still a little bit of a question of the championship. So I got to speak to Alex Palou at the media bullpen today and kind of asked him about his mindset going in here to Laguna Seca. Remember, he's the defending champion of this race. Do you play it conservative or do you go aggressive? This is what he had to say.
I don't know. We need to see how the car is going to be with the hybrids here this year. Are we going to have the same speed as last year? Are we going to have more? Probably. No, that's what I wish. is somebody going to be a lot closer to us? So we just need to see how the hybrid is going to affect us and the tires. But I'm excited. We're just going to try and win. We saw that last week at Toronto, like going crazy aggressive, maybe a little bit too much. But yeah, we're trying to get those wins, trying to get as many points as possible, and ultimately, hopefully at the end of the season, we can fight for the championship and get it home.
And the really big story, which it has been here at Laguna Seca the last few years, is the track surface. Resurfaced in 2023, we saw a really chaotic race, lots of crashing, lots of spins, lots of stupid stuff happening. The yellows were still up here last year, but it was starting to get reduced, and now the surface has aged over the last 3 years. And so the drivers have all been talking about tire degradation, about the surface quality and how much the track will progress. So I got to ask Colton Herta and Christian Lundgaard about those specific issues at the post-practice press conference today. Here's what they had to say.
Colton, you talked about the deg being up this year, specifically with the alternate tire. What's the window looking like right now?
It's too hard to say. Like if you asked me at thermal, like if the red tire was going to be usable, I would say no way. And then so many people, like you made the used tire, use red work. A lot of guys made the use red work. So I think we could be in a similar scenario, but it's too hard to say. Like it could definitely go either way on, you put the reds on and maybe they last 8 laps or maybe they last whatever it needs to, 22 or whatever the number is.
What would you, and this is for both of you, what would you kind of expect the track progression is going to look like through the course of this weekend?
I don't think it's going to change too much, to be honest. I think how this place was before, like the track progression compared to a lot of permanent road courses is slim to none. So I think it will stay somewhat similar. It'll get faster, but it's not going to be a huge amount.
So tomorrow is qualifying here for the Java House Grand Prix here in Monterey, California. There's the paddock rumors are kind of swirling right now about the schedule. I've heard a couple of different things about a couple of different foreign venues, not super far abroad. Think more Canada, Mexico. Still a lot of questions up in the air about both of those events, at least as far as I know right now. So we'll see what happens with those. We obviously kind of have a pretty good idea that Iowa might go away next year. What will that be replaced by? Remember, that's 2 dates on the calendar. I don't know. We'll have to keep digging. Qualifications tomorrow. We'll set the field, and we'll find out what's going to happen on this tricky surface here at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been David Land on YouTube, and I'll see you in sunny, beautiful weather, California, by the way. Wearing a jacket in July. You know what? It ain't that bad. We'll see you in the next video.